Headquarters on Juneau. He reminded me, that this celebration did not come without a lot of shared sacrifice and tough decisions and a bumpy road during the past 5 years. The last time riders celebrated Harley's anniversary was back in 2008, the 105th. The economy was really about to take a big-time dive, and just like so many other industries, Harley-Davidson experienced some big sales drops, 40 to 50%. How has it emerged from the Great Recession?
Well, those are very tough times, as you point out. We had to do a lot to restructure the company, and I can honestly say in my 19 years that I've been at this company, we are stronger than we've ever been as a company, I think, in our entire 110-year history, I believe, because of the tough work we took on in manufacturing and product development, retail, and just making sure that we're running this company in the way that it needs to be run to be here for another 110 years. So we're in a very good position with the strength that we have, working hard, delivering for our customers everything they expect from Harley-Davidson.
What is your message to those employees? Some of them, as you said, had to make some big sacrifices as you head into year 111.
Well, I'll just say that I'm very proud of everything everybody's done because of the position that the company's in now and the potential that we have yet in front of us. And when I get the opportunity to speak to riders, as I did on this ride across the country, I always close by saying, on behalf of the over 6,000 employees, thank you for your choice in Harley-Davidson. We're working hard for you as a customer, and we're all aligned in doing that.
Project Rushmore, the most significant rollout of new models in the 110-year history.
With Project Rushmore, 20% of what we did addressed things that people could say that they wanted changed or improved. 80% of what we did is totally surprise and delight, things that we learned by listening, and just they couldn't have said what they wanted, and we just nailed it. It's just an awesome example of what we can do when we set out to be clear about what the customer needs from us and what we can deliver as a brand, and we get about doing it.
Matt, in the past 3 decades, I've been in a number of executive offices, usually buttoned-up kind of places, but not here. In fact, look at what we're standing on here. Actual burnouts on the floor?
This is an example of how we do things at Harley-Davidson. We just renovated this beautiful 100-year-old building. We're in the process of renovating it. We just finished here the executive sort of corner. And to christen it all, we got a guy in here on a Sportster to do a burnout. He not only did HD on the concrete floor as you emerge here from the elevators, but he went on to go tooling around this nice wood floor over there, doing what only Harley-Davidson would do to christen an office. No bottles of champagne.
Not at all.
As I like to say, we were smoking indoors here in Wisconsin for one day. It was a lot of fun.
A burnout right in the lobby of Harley headquarters. No other place where you see something like that happening. And the philosophy of connecting with and listening to customers really extends to events like this one. This is the 5th Harley anniversary celebration that I've been to, and I can tell you that Harley really listens to the folks here. They take their input into consideration and their feedback, and they tweak this along the way to make these every 5-year celebrations better and better. Back to you, Michelle.
Mike, perspective is everything, and your experience here in Milwaukee, you give us great perspective. A common stop in the pilgrimage for many Harley enthusiasts is right where I'm standing, 6th and Canal, the Harley-Davidson Museum. And they know it too. They've done all they can with free music acts, these special markers that they're selling, these rivets on a wall, and of course, trying to get people to buy some merchandise and keep that brand traveling throughout the world. You can travel through history merely by walking through the Harley-Davidson Museum. And if you're not a rider, hop on a Harley and get an idea for what the way of life is all about. And you know who did that? CBS 58's morning news anchor Jessica Ty, finally back home, returning here in Milwaukee and giving you a first-hand look.
Okay, thank you so much. Have you been here before?
No, we haven't.
Wonderful, welcome.
Humble beginnings is where this tour starts. And right away in the first room, you'll see something unique.
This is one of the few motorcycles that we have under glass in the museum. And the reason why is not really so much that it's very valuable, but we wanted to give it a very special, reverential feel.
I get goosebumps every time I go in there. And that motorcycle, it represents the beginning of an unbelievable success story, the beginnings of an iconic brand that all over the world is creating community of people from all walks of life.
This is the oldest known Harley-Davidson in the world. Its nickname is Number 1. The founders built the bike in this small shed behind the Davidson family home. This is where it all began. The shed was so shockingly small, they decided to illustrate the size with illuminations on the museum floor.
10 feet by 15 feet. These were the dimensions of the shed. Very small.
Very small.
And the reason why the founders were able to do what they did in this very small space was because Milwaukee was the machine shop of the world at that time.
As you walk through the museum, you'll see motorcycles from 1903 to now. It's an impressive collection.
We are very fortunate.
And one Bill Davidson, great-grandson of founder William A. Davidson, says wouldn't have been possible without the foresight of the founders.
They made the decision to pull a significant model off the assembly line from every year that we've been in production. And that's the reason we have 110 years of representative motorcycles from every single model year.
Prior to opening the museum in 2008, none of this was on display. But the company had a strong desire to share its treasures with the world.
When you look at each one of these motorcycles, each one depicts a story. And so if you really absorb all of those stories, you could spend several days here.
Indeed you could. First you learn about the founding of the company, then you see its growth.
So for instance, one of the big watershed moments in our history is 1933. And that's when we turned to styling of the bikes. And the new color options came out.
A terrific test for men and machines.
In the 40s, this bike helped Harley-Davidson survive the war and made people in other countries familiar with the brand. This tour is like a ride through history on a Harley.
This is a 1955 Atomic Blue. Back then, everything was the age of atomic energy.
Walk downstairs and fast forward to today. See the Tsunami bike, the Rhinestone Harley, and the Extreme Racing exhibit. You don't have to own a Harley to enjoy it here. In fact, only 25% of the people who tour the museum do.
The core of our story is motorcycles and motorcycling. But people can come to our museum and they can trace the history of graphic design through our advertising. They could look at the advancements in technology through our displays. You know, there's something